It was a startling statement from President Trump about that 90-minute conversation between the president and his predecessor in the Oval Office just over 2 years ago. While touting his own record on North Korea, Mr. Trump saying former President Obama told him he had been on the brink of starting a war.
They said, "What's the biggest problem?" He said, "By far, North Korea." And I don't want to speak for him, but I believe he would have gone to war with North Korea. I think he was ready to go to war. In fact, he told me he was so close to starting a big war with North Korea. Now, where are we now? No missiles, no rockets, no nuclear testing.
Tonight, those comments sparking blowback from top Obama advisors. Former Deputy National Security Advisor Ben Rhodes. We were not on the brink of war with North Korea in 2016. Former CIA Director John Brennan. President Obama was never on the verge of starting any war with North Korea, large or small. Jeremy Bash served as a top advisor in the Obama administration. Is that accurate, Jeremy, as someone who actually used to be a part of the administration?
That is a ginormous presidential lie. President Obama had successfully deterred North Korea.
The president's North Korea policy will face a new test when he holds a second summit with Kim Jong-un in less than 2 weeks.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.